I better set the record straight. It's 6 children, it'll always be 6 children. It's always a miracle, but that probably won't end. Anyway, there was a conference, a long time ago when I was working, and I've been retired a while, that was attended by many of us mid-level managers. We checked in on a Sunday evening, and until we were released on Thursday night, the days consisted of getting up and having a nice breakfast, going to meetings and conferences, a nice lunch, and a little more of the same, a nice dinner, and then a presentation or two in the evening when we were finally released to maybe have a drink and just relax. In the morning, each morning, we would have a guest speaker, and this one particular morning, we had the newly appointed CEO of our company. And he wasn't but just a few months on the job, and so it was kind of exciting to have him come and talk to us. So after he finished his prepared presentation, the moderator said, I'll call him Bill, said, Bill, this conference this week is on managing people and management techniques. Could you give us a few of your thoughts on what do you think is important in managing people? And Bill stood there and said, I don't know, and went over and sat down. And it was one of those bad moments that everybody regretted, most of all the moderator. But I'm sure right behind the moderator was this newly appointed officer of the company who made a big mistake. And the mistake was that he didn't prepare himself for an impromptu opportunity, for the opportunity to say something off the cuff, to think on his feet. It can happen to anyone. It's not hard. It's not beyond the realm of possibility. All of you came this evening, or these 8 weeks, to improve your presentation skills and primarily concentrate on prepared presentations, where you have some time in between the meetings where you can prepare a presentation and rehearse it so you know how much time you're going to need, and then come and deliver it and get some critique, and hopefully as the weeks go by, each week you improve. You see what help you need, where areas are a little bit weak, and those are the things that you can work on. Equally important to your careers, to your social life, to your life in the PTA, wherever it might be, are those opportunities that jump up and bite you where you have to think on your feet. And that's what I want to address this evening. And in the weeks that follow, we'll give you all an opportunity to practice thinking on your feet or impromptu speaking. It's nothing more than really getting some techniques in your mind, and as you have to, the opportunity presents itself, then you've got something to fall back on and have a strategy in mind that you can use. So the first thing I want to talk about is developing the skills that you'll need, let me get the right card here, that you'll need to be a good impromptu speaker. First thing you have to do is listen, because if you don't listen, you won't know what was asked of you, and if you don't know what's asked of you, obviously, you can't answer the question. So after you listen, pause. Nobody says that as soon as the other speaker stops, you have to start. Collect your thoughts, know what you want to say, and put them together, and have a strategy, and we're going to cover that in just a minute. Maybe you didn't understand what the question was. Well, confirm that what you think you heard is what you actually heard. What is it that the person wants you to address? And then simply tell what you've been asked to tell, and as quickly and as diplomatically or as easily as possible, end it. The more you ramble, the more trouble you can get into. And sometimes it's nothing more than just a friendly conversation or a friendly talk in front of a group, but it might be your opportunity to convince some folks on a political issue or on an issue that affects your company. So you want to make sure that you say what it is that's important, nothing more and nothing less. Now, how about some strategies? Well, you can express an opinion, if you have an opinion. If you don't have an opinion, you can address it from a cause and effect standpoint. That is, here's what I see the problem might be, and it could cause this problem down the road. Break the topic into components. Talk about, instead of the global problem, talk about it in small segments. That way you're free to end it whenever you need to. Use a past, present, and future type of a strategy. Here's what I saw years ago. Here's where we're at today. And by your question, here's where we could be tomorrow. So that's another strategy. And finally, the last strategy that you can use, and it's the strategy that all politicians are very fond of, and that is hedging. You don't have to address the question. You can talk around it. And if you'll notice, this is no detraction to politicians, Carl, or any others, that politicians frequently, if not almost always, don't directly address the question. They do talk around it. They do hedge it. Now, I'll give you 3 don'ts, and then summarize it with a little bit of a demonstration of table topics. That's an exercise we use each week in Toastmasters. The 3 things I would caution you on is don't ramble, don't apologize, and most important, don't fib. Don't invent a truth that's not there, or not a truth, but invent something that's not there that you have to later on try to talk your way out of. So anyway, that's some strategies for impromptu speaking, for thinking on your feet.